Which is the hardest English tongue twister? Is it she sells seashells on the seashore? Or perhaps how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Or maybe my personal favourite, which is Betty bought a bit of butter, but the butter Betty bought was bitter, so Betty bought a bit of butter that made a bit of butter better. Yeah, speed isn't everything when it comes to voice. In fact, as much as I like to talk very fast and give you the emotional, contextual anxiety that you feel when I go up with my voice and I start telling you a lot of things with fancy vocabulary, I also want to bring it down. Slow my speech, lower my voice. And what that does, it creates a soothing after effect. This is what makes listening to people a lot more attractive. It's how they modulate their pitch. I want to give you a direct example. If I speak like this and I use my native accent of Slovenian, then this becomes really boring to listen to. If I just increase the tempo, then it gets a little bit better. It's easier to understand, it's easier to listen to, but it's still pretty monotone. So I have to go and increase a little bit and then just slow it down a little bit and then increase it a little bit and bring it back down and tell you something more interesting and then throw in some magical vocabulary, enrich my pitch. I think you get the point. Your voice has to be controlled. Now, when I was analyzing the results of my coaching clients when we're doing one-on-one coaching sessions, I found that especially those that made the leap of faith and trusted me and started uploading content to their brand new YouTube channel and actually editing the content and listening back to their own voice, which is, if you take anything from this video, the biggest leap you will ever make in English is if you edit your own videos. Sounds crazy, but until you give it a try, you'll never know. I mean, that's low-key how I got my accent. When you're working on your voice, when I'm working with my clients' voices, what we find is that even though, yes, they do make the occasional grammatical error, yes, they do lack the richness and broadness of a vocabulary that takes time to develop, their pronunciation is also a little bit off at times. The TH sounds like this and those and that and thinking and three and tree can a little bit be a problem at times. But what's really messing with them, what's really taken away from the message that they're trying to convey is the fluidity of their speech. The ums and these pauses and filler words like and like like so we like, I think you get my point. That is what kills the attention span. We're living in a very unique time period where everybody's attention span seems to be that of a goldfish and they're aimlessly scrolling through their TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts feeds. We have to do something a little bit different. There's a very good reason why my videos, whether I'm uploading them to YouTube or whether I'm paying Facebook to advertise them, are longer. I'm doing it on purpose because I want to actually motivate and drive you to increase your attention span so you can actually start thinking and listening and implementing some changes for your actual voice. Frankly, I'm sick and tired of the modern TikTok culture. I grew up in the old days where you could actually comfortably sit down and watch a 30, 40-minute YouTube video continuously without my attention being divided and conquered. And I'm also sick and tired of people that have interesting stories, passionate hobbies, and a real drive for building a personal brand never getting started. What is really holding you back? Is it the fear that your voice isn't good enough? Is it the lack of your pronunciation? Do you feel ashamed that your accent maybe sounds like this and you don't want to appear on YouTube video and look into the camera and say, hey guys, welcome back to my video. I'm going to tell you how... I understand. There's a lot of concerns from people when they think, people are going to judge me, I'm going to get hate comments, and it's just not worth the hassle in the first place. But I'm telling you right now is that we need more people creating content. We need more people creating good content. And I think all of you could do with some information, some advice, and some guidance on how to take your voice to that next step so that everybody else's ears can start enjoying you, so that we can move away from 15-second clips and go back to 12, 13, 20-minute videos. I, for one, would be very grateful if I was able to get just 1% of everybody that watches this video to upload their first YouTube content. And I'll tell you why I think this is such a great idea. First and foremost, you're going to get something that's quantifiable. We all know that when it comes to analyzing English or any other languages, progress, that's very difficult to gauge. At what point of working with me on a one-on-one coaching or buying one of my products or joining a mastermind cohort community somewhere, how can you really gauge that you've made progress? Especially when you don't use English on a daily basis a lot, which most people don't. Second of all, how can we create something that's long lasting, something that can, well, stand the face of time? How can we utilize your story, your skills, your expertise, your knowledge, and create something that was actually going to pay dividends for the rest of your life? We commonly say that once something is uploaded to the internet, it can never be taken back down. But that's precisely the strong point of something like running a YouTube channel or starting a personal brand. You will still be getting attention, eyes, potentially money, as long as that content exists online. And third and most important is the editing process. In order to create a video, you have to first look into the camera, stare into the lens, and realize that there's nobody there. There is no audience, nobody's listening to you, nobody's probably even going to watch it. You're recording purely for yourself. And that is fantastic because you get to have a monologue, an open conversation with the most important person in your life, you. And taking a step forward, you then have to put this footage onto your computer or on your phone and edit it. You have to force yourself to listen back to your own voice, to look at the sound signature, to hear the mistakes, to hear all the ums and ahs and likes and so's and ands, all the mispronunciations, all the grammatical errors, all the repeated words which indicate that your vocabulary just isn't quite there yet. Now, you might think that that's embarrassing. You might think that's going to be a painful process. It is. But it is in that process that you will grow exponentially. That's why all the coaching clients I work with, we don't work on just improving their English. We work on getting their personal brand on the way. We work on getting their first YouTube video out there. We work on sharing their story. And English is a byproduct of that. Think about all the activities, all the skills, all the favorite hobbies that you've got, your sport. Do you do it because you have to? Do you do it because it's important? Do you do it because of the results? Or do you do it because the actual journey is enjoyable? I want to flip the script with Flip English. I want to show you that we can do better than our school system has taught us, that we can have fun on the way, we can build something meaningful, and English will just happen. Because I think learning a language is significantly more fun, interactive, engaging, and rewarding when we're not actively thinking about it. I can speak quite a few languages, and I've really never learned any of them. You just have to use them. And what better way to utilize the greatest instrument in the world, your voice, than by creating content, sharing it with other people, and making sure that your story, your product, and your ideas get heard by the rest of the world. So together with Flip English, I wanted to do something a little bit different, a little bit wackier, a little bit wilder. And I think together, you two can become one of those people that can change your story and influence everybody else's, using nothing more than the instrument you already have. It is perhaps the single greatest tool bestowed upon us by nature, and most of us are not taking full advantage of it. That is a shame. So let's flip the script together and let's make a big difference for the world, for you, and your English. Together.